Okay, good evening, everybody. Okay, we're ready to start with our audiovisual. So welcome to the program, one of the programs of the West Pasco Historical Society that we do here monthly at Peace Hall. Our programs are always geared towards the history of Pasco County, and this, of course, is no different. The water bugs are an integral part of Newport Richey and the history of the area. So that's what the program is going to be about tonight. Of course, it's free admission, but we have a donation jar, and donations are in support of the West Pasco Historical Society, which is a 501c3 corporation started in 1973. So we've been serving the community here for 50-some years. Also, we have a gift basket that we're going to be giving away, and we have raffle tickets for $1 each. So if anybody wants to buy a raffle ticket as soon as the program is over, you can get a raffle ticket for $1, and then we're going to make a drawing after the program, and then you can win that basket full of all kinds of memorabilia and things from the West Pasco Historical Society. So welcome, everybody, and enjoy yourselves. I know it's a little hot in here. It's even hotter outside, is what I've heard. We have the AC under, like at 68, but it's going to take a few minutes or maybe a couple of hours for this building to get cool. So if you don't breathe it, if you don't exhale a lot, it'll get cooler quicker. So you can inhale, just don't exhale. Okay, very good. So I'm going to give our attention to these young ladies here. So would you like to take the microphone?
Thank you, Mario. Good evening. I'm Donna Jensen, and I am the program chairman for the West Pasco Historical Society. And tonight I have the pleasure of introducing to you our beloved ski club from 1960. You are going to be amazed when you see the talent that these daring 1960 kids had. It's amazing, and I want you, when we're over, all done, to make sure you come up and look at all the posters. We have skis in the back. We have a guest here from the Tampa Ski Club. So enjoy, and I'm going to pass this off to our littlest skier, Miss Beva Stevenson-Carey.
I need to write things down, and that's how I learn. For me to just listen, it won't stay with me. So I'm going to be reading lots of notes. I write very small, so bear with me. What a beautiful evening. We're so happy. This crowd is amazing, so thank you so much for coming. You're going to get to meet some of our skiers that are here tonight. On behalf of the West Pasco Historical Society and our Waterbug Ski Club, we thank you for being here. This is our first time since we began in 1959 through 1964 that we have reunited to reminisce. No rehearsals, so hang on to your skis. Our thanks to Cheryl Bernie Swartzel. Up at the front there, you'll see a beautiful wreath that was donated to us in memory of the loved ones we've lost. At the end of the program, this edible wreath for river life and fishies will be placed in the Cotee River this evening after our program, again in memory of our skiers who helped us make so many wonderful memories. I'd like to thank also Peggy Conover Knapp, who donated monetarily on behalf of the Conover family in memory of their brother, Donald Runt, we called him, our barefoot skier. Kurt is also here tonight, I believe, also. Donna Penland Jensen, I thank her for offering our historical ski group the opportunity to archive our memories. She is our West Pasco Historical Society's program chair, as you heard. So we thank you for tonight. Abby Allgood-Meismer also is on our board, and she is the events chairman. So you'll be hearing of events coming up soon. Paul Herman, we thank you. He's our West Pasco Historical Society archivist who did a phenomenal job helping us with the old video clips that you'll hear about. the newspaper clippings, and more. You'll hear tonight also about Bill Bennett, who was in my class of 62, and his parents, Ma and Pa Bennett, is how they were referred to, who led the efforts for this group. We thank them for the efforts, and we would like to thank Bill Stevens and Abby Algood-Meismer for helping us make this happen tonight. We're ecstatic that tonight also joining us is a renowned Tampa Bay water ski show team, a professional ski group, and we have Kelly Knuth in the back there. Not here yet. Okay. Clint Gordon and John Shadow. I said it correctly. Yay. As well as, I think tonight will be Miss Billy, who is with the Pasco Fiesta. You may remember seeing the Tampa Bay Ski Boat in the Pasco Fiesta Boat Parade. And they actually won this year. It was their first time to be in the boat parade. They were the ones doing the acrobatics that looked like they were on skis, and they had it on a float. We enter annually as Gulf High alumni, and we've done so since 2012 and have been fortunate enough to win many plaques. But I wanted to bring out in 2015, we won first in our category. And that was thanks to one of our very talented skiers, Bill Stevens. Now, Sandy, his other half, and I were in the front of the boat, and it was like Old Pasco. We decorated with palmetto and palm fronds, and Sandy and I were twirlers, so we twirled in the front. And there was Bill on a disc. Now, if you remember what a disc, anybody know what a disc looked like as skiers? Okay. Abby's son does. It is a big round made of plywood. I would say at least 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, Bill. Yes. It's very heavy. And so this one wasn't just on the disc, laying on it. In the parade, which won us first place, he was standing on his head. I'm serious. And there will be, I think Abby, there might be a picture up here of him, or we can get a picture if we don't see it. Did you bring your picture? Oh, good. Can you bring it over here while we're talking? Okay. Thank you. Now, what I'd like is those that are here that are water bugs, I want you to come to the front. I'd like for you to state your name. Donna actually is an honorary in the ski club because she did ski too. But would all of you that you can go back to your seat, all I want you to do is come up, state your name, and then if you could state what one of your specialties were. Like Sandy and I, we were baton twirlers on the skis. So Bill, I see Mike Ryan, I see all of you. Come on up, please. Where's Carrie? There's a pile of them. Terry, come on over, please. Bob. Linda, weren't you a skier? Okay. Okay. I'm trying. I'm getting on the end. She's trying to make us skinny. sure what Mike Ryan's doing. And don't lose my pink paper. Okay, all right. Are we ready to smile? Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to, and guys, when you speak, they say put your mouth right up here close so they can hear you. Okay, your name and what you did in the ski club, as long as it's safe to say.
Kerry Crutchfield and Salam and Tricksters. Who's she? Kerry Crutchfield, Salam and Tricksters.
Cotee, disc, and shoe skis.
Terry Armstrong, slalom and flags.
Bill Stevens, slalom, disc, and jump.
Happy Meismer, all good Meismer, and I did the bar and slalom and the flags.
Linda Bolton Young, and I did the Adagio, and I was on the pyramid.
Lauren Corman, and I was a baton twirler.
Mike Ryan, I was basically the club drunk. So that's all I did.
Sam Baker, I was support.
I'm Fred Marchman. I just remember freezing my behind off in Miller's Bayou moving the ski jump.
Okay, so Abby needs to extend a little bit more what she was. I think she would describe it as death-defying, which it was. So can you explain what you did?
Well, really, I had the easy job because all I had to do was hang from a bar over the water and turn upside down. The guys holding the bar had the hard job. So I know Billy held the bar, and Mike Ryan, and they never dropped me a single time.
And then as Sandy, there was a couple of items they were going to bring, left them at home. Sandy should be here shortly. So on behalf of Sandy and I, what supposedly we did, I guess we did, we were on the shoulders of the guys baton twirling. So our parents never told us that, you need to be careful. They just assumed we would. So, okay, so we will, in a little bit, probably call you back up, and we want you to share some stories too, okay? All right, so go ahead and have a seat for now. Okay, so a little bit of history on what it was like when we were going to school. Let me know if you can. Is that a little bit better? Okay. I'll put a little plug for our Save Our School 1922 Gulf High School. One of the reasons why we're so passionate is the water bug. So many of us grew up on the water, and these guys, a lot of them, when they went to school, they came by boat to Gulf High School. And we're referring to the one that is a 1922 that's right on Grand. It seems that many of us grew up skiing, like I said before. Either we learned at our historic Gulf stilt houses, or you were along the river skiing. A fond memory of mine was that Dad was pulling me in from the stilt house up the Cotee River, and back then where there were no wake signs, and so you could Dad says, ski as long as you want to. So we just kept going up the river. And even when we did our ski shows, we were, able to, especially out in Miller's Bayou, there were no wait signs. I've got Bill Stevens had received film from Bill Bennett's family, and we were ecstatic to not only receive those, but also the skis that we will be showing you in a little bit. I had that old, it was like the big reels of film, took it to the Pasco camera shop, had those developed. Paul, our archivist, assisted with finding the best of those clips that you'll be getting to see shortly. Abby then meticulously made still shots for those photos that you will see on some of the show boards. Paul again used and downloaded on our West Pasco Historical Society site, the Newport Richey Press. All of those are downloaded just for your information, that you can keywords and you can go right to the year, the month to find a certain article. But Abby and Terry have worked on these show boards, and I believe Kenny had a part in that too, right, Kenny? He says it's his first and last time. Oh, gosh. So, with that, I would like for Bill Stevens and Carrie Crutchfield to come up. As we said, it started in '59, and they're going to give us a little bit of history on how it started. So, Carrie and Bill, would you come on up? There was one more, and that was Bill Bennett. They were the original three that started this. And as they will mention, first they started off with an all-boys club. How did that work for you?
That's all that was out there. The girls were afraid.
That is until we all had girlfriends after we got a little bit older. And then we had to have girls in there. We started this thing as a keep out of trouble, and this bunch of guys, it's pretty easy to do that. None of us had boats that would do much. I started with a 12-horse motor and pulled what was really a piece of plywood tied to the boat with ski rope, and that worked real good for a while. And Bill Bennett, one of our primary charter members, perfected skiing on a canoe paddle. My balance wasn't good enough to do that. Bill here probably could handle it too, but Bill Bennett was good with the canoe paddle. And then somebody, and I don't remember who, Bill Mike, bought a pair of water skis. And oh my God, we had fun with that.
When we first formed it and decided to form it right off from Hooters there, that finger of mango sticking out there, we met in our boats there and just jumped in and said we needed to have a club. And that's really was our very first meeting of the ski club there on it. Terry there was probably watching from her house down the river to see what we were doing. She was our watchdog more or less over the whole club there on it. But we went from there, we've got our skis. We slalomed a little bit, learned how to drop a ski, and then in I think about 59 or 60 we built our ski jump. Before we built that, we learned how to jump by going that finger sticking out. There was a gap. We'd go to one side of it and come back over and go across the mangroves, and that would sort of put you up in the air and come down. And it was your challenge to stay alive. When we built the ski jump, we built it, believe it or not, at Nick's Park, right there on the beach. We got lumber from Adamax Lumber Company. We ordered beeswax, I don't remember from where, to coat it with. And as we were building it, my wife Sandy, her dad came up and wanted to help us. And Bill Bennett's dad said, nope, one supervisor is enough, and send him home. After we got it built, he wanted us to lower it down so it wouldn't be so high when you came off the jump. The only problem with that, if you lowered it down, the water end would come up out of the water. So you couldn't do that. You know, we taught ourselves how to water ski jump on our own. We had to buy special skis for that, and we split a couple of them because they just weren't worthy of our weight coming down on them. We skied there, and the Donna in 1960, when that hurricane came through, blew the ski jump up into the weeds, and we pulled it back over towards what was now, or used to be, Gill Dogs, and put it back together again and towed it to the bayou. And in order to get it across there, we had to, that's one of our skis, jump skis right there, put a piece of styrofoam back underneath it, and underneath my neck there I have a little scar where that styrofoam jumped back out and bit me on the chin there on it. So that was how we worked. And there comes Sandy now with the coats. Come on, bring the coats across here, Sandy. Crutch will help you with them. That's our other twirler. In the film, you will see her twirling a baton and a two-piece bathing suit, which was sort of risque for the time going by. Some of the films are from her dad's film that he took. And so we've got a pretty good selection. We have at least 2 ski shows there from Moonlight Bay, and another one from Camp Keystone. Abby and her sisters used to go out to Camp Keystone every summer, and they invited us out to do a ski show out there. And lo and behold, from the Tampa Bay Water Ski Club, we borrowed a portable ski jump, and we used that out there. And my best friend Bill Bennett, when I was on my head on that disc, guess what he did? Misjudged and pulled me across the ski jump on my head. I survived. I seem to be a very hard-headed individual. Another show is out towards Oldsmar. There used to be a park up there in the north part of Tampa Bay. And again, we borrowed the ski jump from the Tampa Bay Ski Club. And they facilitated a number of our shows.
I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Miller's Bayou. It was different back then. There was probably at most a half a dozen houses around there. And it was kind of like a nice little lake. We used it frequently. Needless to say, I don't think we bothered everybody that lived on it, because there's only about a half a dozen houses at the most. But now it would be impossible with everybody living out there.
That's good for me.
That's good for me, too. I've got to mention Bill Bennett. Ma and Bill Bennett were instrumental in what we did. We would meet at their house on a weekend morning for breakfast. And I'm talking about as many as 15, 20 kids. And Ma Bennett would feed all of us. And then we'd go skiing the rest of the day. And you couldn't get anything better for us. It kept us out of trouble. We were busy all the time, and we had really, really tight friendships.
Thank you, Carrie and Bill. You can stay up if you want. Bill Bennett passed not too long ago, and we definitely missed him very much. I'm very proud to live where I live because he built the home, and he was meticulous. Any piece of wood that came that had a little crick to it, it went right back. So he was a perfectionist, and you could tell the way the ski club, they all stayed together, and his parents were made an impact on all of us. When some of us got together, Abby and Terry, and I don't know, Lauren may have been there, but we were trying to, with the things that we got from Bill Bennett's family, there was a box. Some of those things are on display up here, and there were quite some things in there. So we started going with, let's make a list of all the names you see in there. So the list kept getting longer and longer and longer. It's like, I don't remember him skiing. And then you'd see another one. I don't think she skied. Well, we figured out what happened. The boys knew to pretend they were in the ski club. So they showed up because the girls were there. And then the girls did the same. They came because we had some great-looking boys in the ski club. Right, Bill? Okay, so next, we are going to show the video that, again, it is a combination of what was on that film. And we thank our Sandy, who has just brought the jackets, who also found her dad's video, who was ahead of his time, as you'll see. And you'll see her twirling. It is going to be a first time to see for many of the water bugs. They've not seen this. We had very little, could find very little until that box showed up. And so the ones, if you see yourself in there, if you will just shout out, "That's me," and we'll know that was you. Now be honest. And if we were not sure what you were doing, then tell us what you were doing. But I think you'll be able to see it. So this is actually on YouTube under Waterbug Ski Club Newport Richey. Brian is taping, who's part of our board, taping this for us. And it's, I believe, what do you call it? I'm so not into this. Live streaming. So that's Tomas. Okay, Tomas knows all about it too. So are we ready, Tomas? Okay, so guys, if you see yourself, say, "It's me." Okay, this is your time. Do we have any sound? This might be a silent film. We're old. There you go. Who's that? Sandy, you're one of those? All right, Terry. I thought, Abby, you held up flags too. Okay, come on, guys. You gotta help me out. And I'm one that can't watch the movement, so you better be shouting. Carrie? Okay. Who's that? Oh, Dot Bennett, maybe Bill's sister. There's Sandy. There's Abby. Look at the trapeze. Woo! I think it was, did you say Bill and Bill? Bill Stevens and Bill Bennett. All right, is that a guy with a tutu? Those were the clowns. Don Conover. There's a Conovers. He's barefoot skiing. Yes. Run. That looks like Bill Bennett right there. If you could hear Bill Stevens, he said one going sideways, maybe two, right? Yeah, Bill. Oh, was that kind of looked like Michael Park? Woo! Oh, there's those beautiful girls. There were twins, Jane and Janet Briggs. Okay, now this is some more. They were trying to do a pyramid. Oh, yay, look at that. Cypress Gardens is envious, I know. Okay, Mike Ryan ski boat. Somebody's going to do the jump, I think. Yeah? Yeah. What? Oh, look at this. Who? Bill Stevens. Ooh, look at that. Who is that? Look at the feather. Looks like Chaska Fiesta. Oh! Woo! So, it's got to be one of us girls I know. No, probably Abby. Ooh, I like that boat. Ooh. Oh, well, there you go. Ooh, yeah. Told you we were good, all right? Oh, all three, right? Yes. Camp Keystone. Whoa. Oh, I didn't see all that. Now, is this some of our group? Oh, yeah. horrifying. Look at that's Bill. Is that you, Bill? There's Bill. Good for the sinuses, right? Okay. Oh. What are you doing? He said he's just hanging on. Yay, Bill. Abby, we're going to start the ski club up. We forgot to tell you. You're Bill Bennett? Okay. Bill was known for his red hair. So the trick skis, how did that work? Okay, rope on his foot, and then the other ski on the other ski. Okay. Bill said waiting down the ski jump in preparation. Who is that? Johnny Gray? Looks a little like John Taylor. I think he's back there. Oh. What was that? Oh, okay. Isn't there one with Mike Ryan in a tutu? Okay. Where was that, Bill? Karen? A one ski salute in Moonlight Bay. Yeah. That was you, Carrie, on there? Oh, did you see the backward? Turned around backwards? Uh-huh. There you go. Backwards. Who was that? Carrie. Let's hear it for Carrie. Yay! Good skis. And Tommy Dixon is married in California with Mamie Van Doren, I want you to know. Really? We want him to come back and bring Mamie. Now we know what it was like to sit and watch silent film, right? Who is that? Bill? See where his rope is around his neck. Here we go. Who's on top there? Don? Oh boy. That's some fast movement. And I see Peggy and Kurt here, Conovers. What is this? Oh, I don't. Just got about 4 more minutes, and then we'll move on to the next part. And who's ski jump? What's the history on that? Didn't you get one from Cypress Gardens you rented? Oh, look at Lynn, check that out. Huh. That's and who's walking with you? That looks like Donald, right? Looked a little like Donald, kind of with you. Who's that? Terry, Abby, y'all recognize anybody? Mike and Ryan. Oh, here we go. That's Mike Ryan. Oh, Mike, would you raise your hand? Stand up, Mike. We want to see you. Woo! Oh, look at that. Oh, Linda. Uh-oh. Oh, Bob Cotee. Oh, boom. There's Sandy, Terry, Abby. See, these were younger girls than I was. Yeah. Do you know where this is? We got 1 minute left, so it's almost over. There goes run. Oh, there we go. Abby. Woo. Yep, look at the red hair. That was true red hair. Yeah. Great recovery. Looks like Abby again. I don't know. Yeah. Abby, they said that's your legs. Mike, did you say Mike Ryan? We see you, Mike. He's smiling. Great job. The next part, and I want you to know we don't have too much longer, and we brought some delicious cookies and water tonight for everybody to enjoy. And once we are finished, we would like to invite you down to the river. But we're going to have Abby and Terry come up, and they worked really hard on these show boards. We'd have Kenny come up, and we'll let him relax. Where's Kenny? Okay, come on, girls. They're just going to give you a little bit of a brief summary on what's happening here.
We were so excited to find out that there were some water bug memorabilia because I understood that in the no-name storm, a lot of it had been stored at the Bennett's house in Port Richey, and that a lot of it had been damaged. So after Billy passed away and Bill Stevens was able to gather all these things that Billy Bennett had, it was just one shoebox, other things, but one shoebox. And it was an absolute treasure trove of documents and receipts and membership forms and bank statements. And it really told the tale of the water bugs from 1961 through 1965. And I hope some of you have a chance to look at the boards. They start at that end, and that's the first year, 61, and it comes all the way back to 65. And it's just a lot of fun to read it. A lot of people you'll recognize. But going through the shoebox, I just came on also some just little fun pieces of memorabilia. So one was a membership form that had been filled out. And the question is, does the applicant ski on two skis? And this fellow wrote no. And then, does the applicant ski on one ski? No. So any further ability? And so he wrote down none, but willing to learn. I think it was 1965, we had a 4th of July party, and I just want to read the menu. It was, we needed 2 cases of mixed soda, 6 packages of hot dogs, 6 packages of hot dog buns, 2 watermelon, 10 pounds of charcoal, 1 bottle of ketchup, mustard, and relish. This was 1965, and the total was $9.41. At that time, ice was 39 cents a bag, and today it's $3.50. I don't know if anybody caught it, but on the video, there's the most amazing thing that we discovered when we were going back through. And it was Mike Ryan on his trick skis. And there's a part where he's coming up out of the water backwards. And I said to Kenny, let's rerun that. I mean, I can't even believe that's real. So we did, and he does come up out of the water backwards. So we tried to get a picture of Mike coming up out of the water backwards, but all we got was his behind coming up out of the water backwards. So I have a picture if anybody wants to see it. And I'd just like to say thank you to all the guys who did all the work behind the scenes. We had, as you saw on some of the scenes where it was at the Camp Keystone, you saw all the skis laid out. And that is a hard-working crew, because when you're in the act, you just go find your skis, get ready, and go ski. But these guys are lining up the right skis, getting the ropes lined up. Sometimes there are 3 people being pulled. Sometimes there are 5. So it was a real challenge. We had great guys. We had fun mishaps, but never any serious anything. And we had so much fun. I think on this middle board are a lot of photographs, and there's a photograph of Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, who've been mentioned, and they were Ma and Pa Bennett to us, and they were the sweetest people, just took us all in, took care of us. We had all our meetings at their house. They were always at every show, and Ma Bennett passed the bucket when we had our shows on Moonlight Bay, and we bought our first set of Cypress Gardens water skis from the first take at one of the shows. So then the guys all built a jump, and I was told they used a pattern from Popular Mechanics. And when I said that to Terry, she said, no, they didn't. They just did it on their own. So we have pictures of them going over. All the guys and their dads helped do that. And I just want to read quickly the list of names of people who are still here and some who aren't. Billy Bennett, and Billy and Carrie and Billy Stevens were the triumvirate that started this thing, and we thank them. It was just nothing but fun all along. Billy Stevens, Sandy Kimball, Bella Stevenson, Mike Park, Mike Ryan, Sonny Sofranic, Jane and Janet Briggs, Johnny Gray, Abby Allgood, Runt, who is Donald Conover, but a.k.a. affectionately known as Runt. He was just a treasure. Doug King, Wayne Bernard, Dot Bennett, John Herbert, Susan Jones, Billy Morrow, Gail Morrow, B.J. Semple, George Steele, Matt Prohaski, Missy Allgood, Debbie Allgood, Dean Cox, Dennis Kingsley, Linda Bolton, Bill Freely, Bob Kotomaki, Sammy Baker, Linda Bolton, Lauren Corbin, Tommy Wanzi, Cookie Speller, Peck Casson, Tommy Boyd, Vicki Weber, Bob Ferguson, Leslie Payne, Larry Beeler, Gary Blackwell, Randy Burrows, Joe Chatkin, Kathy Harris, Terry Harris, Bob Kotomaki, I mentioned, Fred Johnson, Lenny Langford, Jim Cochran, Terry Armstrong, Polly Snell, Mike Eggleston, Randy Johnson, Ann Ronig, Chuck Gibson, Judy Casson. These are so many names from around here. If you're from here, you recognize all these names. Dean Owens, Carol Swain, Gail Morrow, Butch Mallett, Sandy Stewart, Pat Rogers, Denny Wechter, Marilyn Betts. And then it has a few things on the list, like don't forget to pick up eggs, but that's something else. Don Gray, Martha Ramos, Lenny Gould, and Hubby Bartlett. So please come up and enjoy the view and the story. It's all in front of you. Thank you for being here tonight so much. We appreciate it greatly. And I wanted to thank Terry I wanted to thank Terry specifically, and my husband Ken, who is speaking to me. Let's see, after a long week of cut and copy and paste, Terry took all of the originals from the shoebox and made copies, and then gave them to us to go play with and make the board. So she was a champ. So thank you.
Anyone who would like a T-shirt, I have a list somewhere. I don't know where the list is, but I'll find it. And all we need is your name and the size you would like. And when the T-shirt comes in, $13. So if you'd like to do, and phone number, yes. So I would just like to say that we grew up at a time in Newport Richey that was just phenomenal. To run the river, to ski in the bayou, to have support of Ma and Pa Bennett was just incredible. Besides the ski times, if there were issues of out of gas or a flat tire in a location where you really should not have been in the first place, you could call Ma Bennett and she would come and get you. That and Mrs. Corman, yes, the two of them were our guardian angels. We kept the guardian angels very busy, but never any major accidents. So it was a wonderful time.
Gary, thank you. I remember Sunset Landing, and that was Lauren. She is here tonight. Lauren Corman. Those are great memories, too. I wanted to... Brian came up when they were talking, and he wanted to let me know. And it warms my heart because he's made great effort into live streaming. So my other half was Michael Park, who was not here anymore. We were sweethearts in high school. 50 years later, reunited, had the memories of knowing that I was his first and last love for 12 years. And while we were watching that, Jenny texted Brian, because Jenny helps us on the museum board as our grant writer. And I think I remember I said, I think that was Michael Park. And Brian said, Jenny said that was the first time she'd ever got to see her dad. So that means a lot. So thank you, Brian, for the effort you're putting in. Tomas has been helping to really get it out there so they can replay that and see it all. So that's wonderful. I also wanted to thank you. See this beautiful Cotee River water bugs that Lynn Crutchfield, Carrie's wife, made in 1996 for Bill Bennett. And Carrie has a match somewhere that she made for both of them, so that's cool. And so now I have the honor of bringing up, and this is our last act, we're going to show you, just hold up a few of our old skis, and we're going to ask the Tampa Bay crew if they will come on up, because they have a few things to share with you too. Some of it hasn't changed much, the mechanics of it. And while they're coming up here, come on up, John, if you would. And while they're coming up, you know, the mechanics and the technology and all, and we were talking, you could see the boats going around, and one of our dear friends, Randy, who is in Kentucky now, so I can talk about her. She's not here, but it was a fun but dangerous, just like what Abby was doing. So we were skiing in Moonlight Bay, and it was where if you wanted to go up to the bank, the boat would swing around, and you'd be behind with skiing, and you had to time it right to where you would land easily as you were coming in. And Butch is shaking and said yes. And so Randy didn't have the timing right. She came in so fast, her skis just stuck. She went whole body forward. And that there are learning lessons and all that. And so there's a lot to do. These guys here, Bill, would you and Carrie bring up a few of our skis, and they're going to speak just, we promise not to take long, because we know you're getting tired. You've been wonderful, and we're going to set up the water and cookies. We haven't decided if it's inside. Maybe we'll go outside. It might be cooler at this point, down by the river, and we'll do the wreath also. Welcome.
Are they going to share first? Sure. They're going to bring up a few of the skinny skis that you're very familiar with, I'm sure. How many people have skied on skinny skis? Most people have skied on 2. How many people have skied on 1? Slalom, okay. So you're very familiar with the bindings. The rubber bindings are fixed. One thing that's changed since the 60s as far as skis are concerned, John's going to demonstrate a wide board. So our girls on the ski team use this for ballet line, for swivel. It has a binding. This is a flag.
You guys talk about new technology. We use a lot of old technology. Okay, one of our members actually makes these. It hasn't changed much since the 60s. This is our wide boards. The bottom of pyramids, trios, doubles. But I want you guys to take a look at the binding on this. It's kind of our tribute to CG and our skiers that used to ski there over the years. That's a OG Cypress Garden bindings. I source those and keep them off the walls, and we use those on our base skis and a lot of our skinny skis. So not exactly new technology, but I think you guys will recognize the binding. We love the ones with the latches because they're in and out really quick, because you're running between acts and you got to get in there and adjust, because my feet's maybe larger than Clint's feet, So I just wanted to show that first before we brought up the other stuff. So that's for flagline because I wasn't real good at holding the pole.
So this is similar to what the girls use for ballet line. These are wide boards. They're used for for flag line. And then he's going to demonstrate a lady swivel ski. It does have a binding that is, it spins in 360 degrees. The girls are able to perform overhead tricks where they pull in the rope. They have to have incredible arm strength, and they can do 360s, 720s, 1080s. These were created, I want to say, maybe in the 60s, 70s. So Willa Cook, I believe, was one of the very first ski ballerinas right here in Florida. Yes, the binding can unlock and it can spin. When they're learning, it has a lock. It'll only spin 180. So your foot's in a toe hold, and you can spin 180 backwards, and it locks, and then you can recover forwards with your toe in a rope. Do you have a toe hold rope back there? No? Right. We'll drag you around behind the boat. So this is a toe hold rope. I'll be quick, I promise. Girls hold this with 2 hands. All of our skiers ski right foot forward. It goes onto the arch of your foot, and then you can release it. And so you're skiing hands free. There's a pinner in the boat who's holding that all the time. And if the skier bobbles, she pulls the pin, the skier sinks down into the water at 12 to 13 miles an hour. So pretty safe. Then this is a flomo. This is what girls wear for protection. To float, it's not U.S. Coast Guard approved, so you can't wear it if you're just going out for scallops and fun stuff like that, but it is great for climbing pyramids because the neoprene's pretty thin. This is a harness that our trio skiers will wear. Try to keep your skis straight. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. Yes, ma'am. natural. So what she's describing is a deep water start. That's one of the very first ways that you learn to be pulled up behind the boat. The next start is a seated dock start. And as I'm told by the guys who have to carry the girls off on their shoulders when they're doing pyramid, hips forward and rope at your hips. Is that right? Okay. And sitting down. And any secrets to keeping the girl on your shoulders? Right. Hang on, right?
You go down, your back's going to get wrenched. So, oh, sorry.
And the last start is a dock start, sliding dock start. So a lot of our guy skiers who are learning to slalom or wrap, they'll start off with their foot in the ski. Even our ballet girls learn to do a standing dock start. One foot on the ski, they jump off, and they drag their back foot in the water until they're steady, and then they can place their toe gently on the back of the ski. That's usually at about 15 miles an hour unless they're doing tricks, and they'll go a little bit faster depending on their body weight. This next thing that you see is a disc. It's however many years. Three-quarter inch. These are team wetsuits. The guys wear these. These are good for flotation, and it's, as you can see, full body length, so it's good for barefooting. It's got plenty of butt pads for those guys who do butt starts in the water. And then I'll let Clint tell you a little bit about this sky ski.
So this is called a sky ski. It is a hydrofoil. It's very popular right now for people to be surfing behind the boats on hydrofoil boards. This, you'd be seated on it, strapped in very well, actually. It's kind of hard to get out of. And then your feet are strapped in as well. Use a normal ski rope, about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Every mile per hour makes a huge difference on hydrofoil. So when you jump it, you might only go a couple feet out of the water at 21, but at 25, you might go 15 feet out of the water. So it's a very, very big difference, just a few miles per hour. I'm going to leave this up here so you guys can take a look because it's really cool. Actually, I'm going to hand the mic off and I'll flip it over so you can.
Fun fact, the aluminum on the bottom is airplane grade aluminum, which makes it very light and aerodynamic.
On the dock, getting ready for a ski show, we have this, we call it the Ginsu knife. We try to keep it over to the edge of the dock, but more than one person has, touched it, and it is sharp. So be careful when you're taking a look at it, but by all means, come up and take a peek when you're on your way out. I get to ski on this, and I love it, and it's actually very, very comfortable. If anybody's looking to get back in the water, you can go slow, and it doesn't actually take as much energy to hold on as you would think because it's so sleek. So, yeah, you can't go in shallow water with it. Yeah, it does. It isn't exactly something that's intuitive, but.
And then tell us, how do you prepare for a flip? How do you guide the hydrofoil?
Everything is in your lower half stays still. Everything is in your upper body and where your rope is, your handle placement. When you push the handle down, you go up. When you lift the handle up, you go down. So you're going to freeze and ride the foil. When you first start out, you're riding on the board and you go slow enough that the foil can't ride. You pick up the speed a little bit, and all of a sudden the foil activates, if you will, and then it flies underwater. And then the board will come up off the water, and it gets dead silent. It's really cool when you're on it. You can't hear anything. It's just silent. And then when you're ready to start jumping it, you gently move the handle down, and you'll pop out of the water. And you freeze while you're out of the water until you re-enter the water. You do that multiple times. Then as you get a little better, you can flip it, front flip, back flip, 360, so all sorts of stuff.
The last thing I'll show you is the wakeboard. Do you mind grabbing that, John? A lot of the guy skiers on the team will use a wakeboard because it's a little bit easier for them to get up. I've heard it's a little bit lower gravity, lower center of gravity. As you notice, the two bindings are fixed. They don't move. So you come up out of the water like on your 1 foot forward, and it's kind of like I've been told like skateboarding or snowboarding. It's actually easier for girls a lot of times to get up on a wakeboard than it is on two skinny skis because it's, like I said, the boots are fixed. You don't have to worry about, like you said, keeping your skis together. It does the work for you. But the tricky part is learning to do wake crossovers, doing flips, things of that nature, because this one does not have fins on the bottom, but some of the wakeboards do have fins. It makes them almost impossible to do butter slides or switch, like orient left to right to left, that kind of thing. One thing that is very big now is helmets for wakeboarders, for jumpers, because as the ramps get bigger and as the tricks get more complex, so do the risk of injury. But one thing that skiers have learned is how to figure out how to have fun, but how to do it in a safe way and protect your noggin. Sounds like you have personal experience. Are there anything else that we wanted to showcase? Did you have some boards that we wanted to show?
Not my slalom, but it looks just like it. And whenever y'all look at the stuff close, notice the binder on this ski, and then the binder on the Cypress Garden skis. This was a Hydroflight ski. This binder, my ski I bought in 57 or 8, something like that. My binder still looks just like this. The ski is a little smaller than this. It's got a big crack in it, so I can't ski on it anymore, which I couldn't anyway, but it would probably break. But definitely look at the difference in the binder. It was unique that this company came out with this. But this was the slalom that you saw and all the guys using was just about like this.
This is the trick ski we were using. Notice it has no rudders on it. It only had one binder. When you turned, you had to turn your whole body. If you're going sideways, you put one foot behind the other, and you had to keep your foot on there by yourself without a binder. Our handles were wooden dowels. We drilled holes about the same size there on it. They would rot on occasion. We had to change them out. But they were just wooden dowels. And that's what we used. That's what we could afford.
This is one of a pair of skis that the girls were all skiing on. Every one of them looked almost exactly like this, maybe a different color, and that was all.
This one says Ramp Master, so this is a jumper ski.
Go ahead. It's a jumper skis, Cypress Gardens, and that's where we had to order them from. On occasion, you can see the tip of this one is starting to separate. They would do that, and they were guaranteed. We'd send them back over there, and they'd send us a new one there on it. And we have broken a couple of them in half. How we do that, I don't know.
A lot of the jumper skis now are a composite blend, so they may have like a different, like they're foam filled, so they are a little bit lighter.
We had one. Just kidding. See?
Good question.
And I wanted for you to share. I know you're going to be at Lake Carson, but if you could share some of your shows, if you have any cards or anything that
I've got plenty of cars, and we don't have a home lake anymore, so we can work with any budget. If you got water, we'll travel. We do have shows coming up on the 3rd in Eustis for their celebration. That's at 5 o'clock. We have 3 shows on the 4th. And yes, our skiers can do it. First one's at Carrollwood. That's their private 4th of July. That's in the morning. And then we have 2 big shows with Jump downtown for the big 4th of July celebration in the city of Tampa. We'll be right by Harbor Isle for the first show at 5. And then we're going to go up to Julian B. Lane at 6:15. We're going to do a show there. And then I know some of you have been to the Tarpon Turtle. Let me see a show of hands. Okay, so I'm not the only drunk in the house. So we've got a show on the 26th at 2:30. We're going to do our standard medium show there. I think some of you have seen us there, so we do at least 2 shows there a year. All our shows are free to the public. We're not-for-profit as well. And my advice is if you're going to the Tarpon Turtle, get reservations because you want to ask for a seat by the water. That's your best view. So that's our upcoming shows. I do have one other thing, if you don't mind. I brought a little gift for the ski bugs. This is one of our programs that we had when we had our lake. And what's on here, I've had 2 of our world champions sign this. They're on Team USA, world champions several times over, gold medalists. Team USA's never lost the world championships. So I want to present this to the water bugs. So, absolutely. And I also want to thank the invite for coming up here. I learned so much tonight, all the history and everything, and the ski bees and everything's tied together. I know Clint's dad was a ski bee, and they were on Lake Tarpon and Egypt Lake. So I want to thank you guys for having us. I've learned a lot tonight, and I'm going to make sure one of our trick guys can do that headstand, because I don't think we do that in shows. And that's, I'm not doing it, but yeah, that looked like a pretty cool trick. And I've got the disc, and we have a team disc as well, so you don't have to look at the Buckeye stuff anymore. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much, and I'm going to turn this over to Bella. Am I saying that right?
Thank you so much. Thank you. You can stay up here. I wanted to tell you we will be having, just look for us, we've got the cookies in the back, and we've got waters that we'll be passing out, and we'll be going down by the river. But this has been a great night. We are so appreciative. This is one of the nicest crowds we've ever had, and it's amazing. I think that many of us have been inspired tonight. I mean, I would like to even start trying to ski again. You never know. We're inspired tonight to teach our next generations. Bill and I were talking. I even ordered a Waterbug Ski Club for my great grandbaby. See the little one, Donna? Could you hold that up? She couldn't make it tonight because her parents were working. But there's our next skier right there. So stay tuned for the next chapter of the present and future water skiers. Our cookies are honey almond or birthday cake or a chocolate cherry cookie or a blueberry cream cookie or a salted caramel cashew cookie. And if you are allergic to the nuts, we have another option for you too, okay? And anybody else have anything to say of our group? Oh, great. We've got cards here, and we just need to go to your website and we can see the schedule, right? Oh, it is. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I've gone on their Facebook, and it's great. So, all right. We got future skiers coming up. Gary? I guess maybe it's true. All right, here's Donna.
Or maybe the skiers were on fire. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. It was great looking back at my childhood growing up here. I was born and raised here. I was raised on the river. And my cousin Sandy and I learned to ski in my backyard with her father teaching us, pulling the boat with the alligator across the river. And I am very truthful about this. we would have 20 or 30 kids in my backyard during the summertime, and the alligator would lay across the river and never bother us. So, you know, we learned to ski with the alligators and live with them. Anyway, we have, like Mario was telling you earlier, we have a drawing tonight, $1 a ticket for a gift bag over there. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the West Pasco Historical Society, we would love for you to join. And if you just want to volunteer, we are always looking for volunteers. So step over to the table and join or give a donation or whatever, and come up and enjoy looking at all of the work that Abby and Terry have done to put this amazing tribute to our kids in the 1960s. This is how we stayed out of trouble. Don't you wish the kids today knew how to water ski and do what we did? So I wasn't a member of the ski club, but I could ski. Bill up here on his head. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Drawing.